Hello book lovers and welcome back or welcome to Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe. Today I am here to do my August TBR using my TBR game. Alright guys, July is coming to an end and honestly, thank goodness, because I wasn't having a great month. Reading wise, it's been very mid, if not downright not good. So I am very excited to go ahead and just put that month in the past, forget about it, and move forward with some new exciting books to read. This month, I'm not going to be taking part in any readathons, and I will once again be using my TBR game, Leserin Egedishnisht. And as always, if you want to know the instructions on this game, the rules or anything, I will always link the playlist above where you can see that video as well as previous rounds. So usually in this game, I see if I need to start off with a punishment or with a reward by looking at the previous month. In this case, that would be June. However, I ended up doing a month of mood reading in June, so I didn't play this game. So we are not going to get a reward and we're not going to get a punishment either. We're just going to go ahead and start off with the game and our initial 5 rolls. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else that I need to let you guys know about. So we'll go ahead and send it over to Natalie from the past over by the game board for roll number 1. All right, everyone, here is the board. I will say that when it comes to prompts, we have gone ahead and added our full stack back because we have just about made our way through all of them. I have placed all the ones we haven't used yet on the board and then filled the rest with ones we have already used. So just wanted to point that out, not that it's overly relevant to the game. That being said, I don't know what I'm in the mood for. So we're just gonna roll and we're just gonna roll with it, as they say. So the first, oh my gosh. So I was gonna say the only one that I kind of don't want is a thriller mystery horror, just because I've been like a little anxious lately and I don't need more anxiety in my life, but I guess the game disagrees with that. So let's see what we're rolling with here. A 1. So this is the only one we have out. So this is a horror thriller mystery. Oh my gosh. And I have to buy a book. Oh my gosh, I didn't have any plans of buying a book, but let's see if there's anything I want to buy. All right, guys, so we started with the one genre that I was kind of hoping to avoid this month, but it is what it is. And we actually got the prompt to buy a book. And I decided to go ahead and head over to my Amazon wish list and see if I had any kind of thrillers or horrors on there that I thought would be good for this final summer month, and I ended up coming up with Summer Suns by Lee Mandello. All right, so I'm real quick gonna go ahead and read the synopsis from my laptop. I don't do this often, but I just want to make sure. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on here. As far as I know, this is a young adult book, but I'm not 100% sure. It might be leaning more new adults, but essentially it is Andrew and Eddie did everything together. Best friends bonded more deeply than brothers until Eddie left Andrew behind to start his graduate program at Vanderbilt. 6 months later, only days before Andrew was to join him in Nashville, Eddie dies of an apparent suicide. He leaves Andrew a horrible inheritance, a roommate he doesn't know, friends he never asked for, and a gruesome phantom with bleeding wrists that mutter of revenge. As Andrew searches for the truth of Eddie's death, he uncovers the lies and secrets left behind by the person he trusted most. Discovering a family history soaked in blood and death, whirling between the backstabbing academic world where Eddie spent his days and the circle of hot boys, fast cars, and hard drugs that ruled Eddie's nights, the walls Andrew has built against the world begin to crumble, letting in the phantom that hungers for him. So this is a queer story, and I have heard relatively good things things about it. It also has a stunning cover, so I'm happy to have it in my possession, and fingers crossed it's not too intense. It definitely sounds like it is going to be though, but I hope that I have a good time with it all the same. All right guys, on to roll number 2 out of 5. A sci-fi. Whoops, that is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't move one out because it's blocked by him. So we have to go ahead. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to remember. I think since this is the first space, I can go ahead and jump this guy into the house. And that will go ahead and be a sci-fi mood read. So let's go ahead and do that. Our first person is home. Okay, so that's gonna be a mood read for the sci-fi category. Right, so I actually already filmed this clip and then realized I didn't press play, but I feel like I do that at least once every time I film my TBR. It's practically tradition at this point. But we went ahead and rolled a sci-fi for roll number 2, and we actually got one of our little sci-fi dudes home. So that means that we get to do a mood read within this genre, and I decided to select one of my 5-star predictions, and that is going to be World Run Down by Al Hez. And this is a story that follows a young trans male character, and he lives out in the wastelands as a scavenger. And one day he is approached by an AI that has been forced into the body of an android who is looking for other androids that have escaped the wealthy cities. In exchange for our character helping this AI, he will get a visa to one of these cities, which will allow him to get the gender affirming treatment that he so desperately wants. However, along the way, along their journey, not only do these two start to fall for each other, but our main character starts to wonder if it's his place to sacrifice other people's lives for what he wants. So I have not heard much about this story. However, I do love a post-apocalyptic story. I do love a story with a trans main character, queer. It's got romance. I'm assuming it'll have some good commentary in it. So I have a feeling it's a story I'm really going to enjoy. And hopefully if I have positive things to say about it, more people will feel inclined to pick it up as well. All right, we're moving on to roll number 3 out of 5. Another sci-fi? Okay. And another 5. Okay, so I can't move this one, so I have to move this one because he's still in the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's kicking someone out, so we got to go ahead and add a 6th roll, and this sci-fi is to be a sister pick. I think the last time I had a sister pick, it was also a sci-fi. All right, roll number 3, and we have added an extra roll, but this one was a sister pick, and I did try to get in touch with her. It's noon, but she might still be asleep. I think she's been going to a lot of summer concerts, so I'm sure she's been up late partying, unlike her boring older sister. But that being said, I am going to offer her 3 options that she can choose from. The first one is gonna be Lore by Lily Main, and this is the last book in the series that is currently published, so I'm definitely nervous to read it, but I also love this series very much, so I would be very excited if she chose this. It is a chonker, however. Option number 2 is actually a reread, and that is Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. I'm definitely behind on my reread goals, so it would be great if I could get this one on my TBR. I have been wanting to reread this for a hot second, so I would not mind if she chose this. And the final one is actually Jurassic Park by Michael Cretchen, whatever his name is. And I just think that the story will be fun. I do love the Jurassic Park movies. That doesn't mean I will love the book, but at the same time, I do think it will be an enjoyable read, and I'm kind of in the mood for it, so I decided to go ahead and throw this on. So I will let you know which one she picked. Maybe I will go ahead and throw up a picture if she has picked one by the time I am editing this, but these are the 3 sci-fis she has to choose from. All right, we are now on to roll number 4 out of 6, and maybe no more sci-fi. A romance. All right, let's go with that. This is a 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. We can take someone out. And this romance needs to be a novella under 300 pages. All right, guys, roll number 4 was a romance, and this was to be a short book under 300 pages. And I had decided to put Desperate Measures by Katie Roberts on here. I am officially starting my Katie Roberts journey. This woman has a backlog like no other, so hopefully I like her, because I'll definitely get a lot of content out of her. And this is the first book in her Disney retelling stories. These all seem to be kind of BDSM themed. A lot of them have some polyamory in them as well. This one, I believe, does not have polyamory, but it does have some BDSM in it, and it is between Jasmine and Jafar. And I believe in this world it's more of a modern setting. Maybe there's mafias of sorts and business dealings and all that jazz going on. I don't know too much about it, but this book is only 213 pages, and I think it is primarily erotica, so I don't really need to know much else going into it, but I'm excited to see what I think about this author. A lot of people really seem to like her stuff. I'm excited to add my opinion to the conversation. On to roll number 5 out of 6. Another romance. And a 4. So let's go ahead and move this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's easy. An adult romance. All right, roll number 5 was another romance, and this one was to be an adult story, so that is pretty easy. And I decided to choose one of the books off of my summer TBR because that TBR has remained relatively untouched this summer season, and that is going to be The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I figured after choosing Desperate Measures, it would be good to choose a tamer romance. I heard that this is more fade to a black, so after reading an erotica, it might be nice to read a book with a little less sex in it. So when it comes to Christina Lauren, I have actually never read any of their adult novels, only the autobiography, their young adult queer story. So I'm intrigued to see what I think about their adult writing. This seems to be kind of a enemies to lovers, as far as contemporary romance can be enemies to lovers. And we have 2 people that don't get along, but they go to their sibling's wedding or their friend's wedding, and everyone at that wedding gets food poisoning except these 2. And I guess the bride and groom had a prearranged honeymoon, non-refundable, and they decided to give it to these 2 characters. And so they head off to this tropical vacation and fall in love, obviously. So I don't know anything else about it. It seems like it might be a fun concept to read about. It is a great book to read in the summer just based off of this title. So I am glad I was able to get it on my TBR this month. All right, and what will hopefully be our last roll, we are going with a contemporary. And we got a 6. So, all right, so I got a 6. If I pull someone out, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're probably like, Natalie, don't you remember your own rules? I'm pretty sure I don't have to take someone out if I don't want to. And I don't really want an extra roll because I kind of want this to be a chill month. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do this one because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll knock someone out. So let's move this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we will get a graphic novel. All right, guys, and the final roll number 6, ended up being a graphic novel, or comic, I should say, because I think this would fall more under the comic category, and that is going to be Fence Volume 5 by C.S. Pacat, Joanna Lafuente, and Joanna the Mad. So this book was gifted to me by one of my subscribers, so thank you very much, Lon. I am very excited that I am getting to this book. I told you I wouldn't wait until the next Squash That series round to get to this. So this is essentially a contemporary comic. It's very queer, it's very diverse, and we are following a high school fencing team. They're probably like mid-level when it comes to skills, and our main character has gained a athletic scholarship to this school for fencing, and so he loves fencing. He's very passionate about fencing, and he finds himself in a rivalry with one of the best fencers in the country. Of course, that fencer does not agree that they are rivals, but they are roommates. And as the story goes on, they become more like friends. I have enjoyed the last couple of volumes. It took me a little while to get into it, but it is just a fun, sweet time. So I'm happy to have this quick and easy book on my TBR this month. I definitely need it. All right, so these are the books that will for sure be on my TBR, and then we will be adding one of these, and of course then Summer Suns is on its way to me. I do want to say I am working on a non-fiction book right now that is going to be Radical Acceptance: Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha by Tara Brash, and this is a book that my therapist suggested to me, so I just barely started it. I read the first 9 pages or so, so I will slowly but surely make some progress in this during this month, especially since I do have some things coming up in my life that are going to increase my anxiety. So I think I definitely will be benefiting from this story over the next few weeks. But wait, there's more. We of course have to go ahead and visit the Challenge Cup, which has actually been kind of nice recently, so we'll see how he's feeling today. But just to give you a little status update, we are actually doing really well. I am currently working on This Is How You Lose the Time War. I literally started it last night and I'm 30 pages into it, and I am planning on finishing it here at the end of July. So going into August, I'm actually going to be completely caught up, having either finished or DNF'd all of the previous challenge books. I was kind of thinking like, what books are still in here? I know Babel is still in here. The first book of the Daevabad trilogy is in here. I think there's only one more book or so that I would really consider short. So am I nervous? Yes. But there's no sense in procrastinating. It's gonna happen no matter what. We're just gonna grab one. You know, the 2 books that are over 900 pages are gone, so we don't have to worry about those. Let's see what this is. Oh gosh. I don't know. What is this? What does that say? Strange the Dreamer. I totally forgot that this book is in here. Guys, it's Strange the Dreamer, the book that I've been saying I would read for like 3 years and have literally never even touched. But I finally bought it, or I finally was gifted it at the end of 2023, and then I put it in this challenge cup to guarantee that I'm going to read it, and I'm going to read it this year. And I'm actually kind of glad that it was chosen this month. It's kind of a fantasy that gives a little bit of summer vibes, so I think it's a good time of a year to read it. This is a well-beloved book. People love Laini Taylor, and I've never read anything by her, so I am definitely behind when it comes to the trend of loving her. So this story seems to follow a guy named Laszlo Strange, and he is obsessed with a town called Weep. It seems Weep is not its actual name, but it was kind of erased from all the maps, and no one really knows what happens to it, but he is still really intrigued by it. And one day some people from Weep show up and ask him to come to their lost city to, I don't know, solve some problems or something. And I believe there's a romance between him and someone who's blue. I don't really know much else about this story, but I am really intrigued. I hope that I fall in love with it the way everyone else does. I hear it has some really beautiful writing, and I'm always down for some beautiful writing. So this is really exciting. It's not overly intimidating. Plus it is a book that I have been meaning to read for a hot second. So I'm actually relatively happy with this, and I think that my challenge cup has gone ahead and formed itself and is no longer seeking the title of Demon Cup. So thank you. You get a little pat on the head for that. All right, guys. So that is my August TBR. I'm actually relatively excited for it. I think in July, I didn't have too much say over what I was reading because I had a vlog with specific books that I had to push in there. And then I had some book clubs that I had to get in there. And then I had a mom pick, and then I had an Instagram poll pick. So this month I was able to really kind of figure out what I wanted to read and put it on there, and I am very happy with that. I would love to know what books you guys are excited to read in August. Are there any books on my TBR that you have read and loved? As always, guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel by watching my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!